What's up guys, RJ Game back here, and we're here for another Jurassic World Evolution 3 video. And today we're going to be expanding our ecosystem and adding more dinos, and hopefully we'll do as well as last video. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, we're going to be releasing the Corythosaurus here in one of the middle hatcheries in the rows. And you know, this thing is quite big and not really that fast, so it's kind of an easy prey, but it's also big, so that's the only thing for smaller predators. They can defend themselves and then run off, like most any other herbivores that are big.
Ladies and gentlemen,
alright, they're gonna need ground leaf. I release them right next to the Stegoceratops. Ground leaf, patch it in there with this. And some on the other side here, like that. And then we're also gonna add some of that. Just so they're happy, you know, just kind of get a feel there. Alright, now that these guys are finding their land and stuff, they're practically already happy. Going on to the... Ooh, wait a second. Life's about to find a way. Oh my gosh. These guys, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my goodness. 6 of these guys. That's a little insane. But hey, these guys are going to grow out of crazy population. And where even are these? About to find a way. Next one. Ooh, Gunlungs have finally laid some. Ooh, you can see their parents right over there. Now they finally got some
Ladies
babies.
and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome.
Alright, hunts begin. Oh, Pyroraptor's hunting a Drysaurus. Looks like this, sir. Right now it's just chasing it through the forest here. Interrupted during the hunt that some baby Velociraptors were being born. Looks like over here in forest area, and the parents are right there in the background. But at least we know the parents are here this time. Somewhat, not really. Alright, looks like over here these guys had some babies. As you can see, these guys kind of made their own little population over here, well, which is good. And there's still a little bit of these guys over here. It looks like the juveniles were left, which is crazy, but whatever. Alright, life's about to find a way again, and this time it's the, what are these guys? Parasaurolophus. Yeah, that's what they are. Alright, we got a hunt in progress, it looks like. I don't know, Chauceraptor. I don't know what it's chasing right now. It's chasing something through the forest. Still has not been able to hunt it down, bro. There's a fight going on. Looks just like it's for alpha. Yeah. Yep, just for alpha. Alright, life's about to find a way for these Pyroraptors. Man, there's just so much stuff going on in this ecosystem. I forgot to release more dinos, so let's go do that now. Alright, before we release more dinos, this population of Arthmimus is just getting out of hand very, very quickly. But, you know, we're going to go over here and give what they need. Alright, now that the ground leaf's been placed there for these guys, they should be happy. And it looks like there's only 4 adult population, but hey, these guys will be alright. They have a bunch of juveniles. Again, before we go release some more dinos, there's a hunt in progress. I don't know why I just didn't eat it right there. Alright, there we go. Okay. That's Pyroraptor taking down another Drysaurus. Alright, now let's go release dinos. Alright, here on the middle hatchery on this row again, we're going to be releasing some copies. I don't know if fully pronounce the name, Copasaurus or whatever. I'm just going to stick with coffee. And of course they're probably going to need a meat feeder because they really can't, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Alright, we're going to add a meat thing right here for them. And a net. Alright, we've ended up filling the area with some more ground leaf just to give it that more natural look. And there's the little nest there for them. Looks like they got to have multiple nests. Yep, let's go do that. Alright, we got them all laid down, and you know, they haven't found this one yet, but they'll be happy as soon as they do. Alright, we got the Stegoceratops in the lake here. They're piping, as you can guys see here. Fruit and ground fiber more, I guess. Try to give them more of that. They might just have to expand their little area. And the ground fiber is using low. Alright, are they happy now? Alright, bro. This is a pain in the butt to get these guys happy. Alright, now that they're insanely happy, I am going to ground fruit. I don't think with this area we'll be able to fully get what they need, which is kind of dumb. But hey, I'll give them what I can, and they're gonna have to do the rest. Alright, cover now. That's just your problem. I ended up doing some more editing, gave the trees so you can't really see the fence there. And, you know, they just need a little bit more cover, but they haven't really expanded their territory a lot, so, you know, that's their problem. But besides that, everything's going well. I'm pretty sure these guys are still happy. No, they need ground leaf. This is quite insane, actually. These dinosaurs are really gonna have to expand their areas. See if they can find more ground leaf, because if not, they're done. Alright, and then we got a little thing right here. Maybe if I had this right here, they'll see it and they'll kind of wander over here, but you know, they're gonna have to find their way through. Alright, on the next dinosaurs. Alright, we got this low Earth Ammonis. It needs water, practically starving itself, but finally going for some water. Hopefully, I would hopefully see this thing go drink, but if it does not, then it's gonna die. Die of thirst when it's probably gonna be right by water. Alright, it got to the water area. Alright, God, it's not that stupid little thing. Alright, even though its brain doesn't seem like it'd be that big. Anyways. Alright, it needs food, and, you know, it's not really that smart, but, now it's gonna eat some food, hopefully. Yeah, bro. Perfect area. Alright, we got some copies in the top right corner. They claimed the nest. This female copy towards me just eating right now. And, do they find water? No, they need a raid though. And, sorry, I'm not going to be able to meet that need. Alright, if we look here on the map, this is kind of getting out of hand. There's a billion herbivores and not that many carnivores in this ecosystem. So, you know, what I'm going to do is I'm about to release some carnivores.
Incubation personnel, please
First
stand
decent sized carnivore we're going to be releasing is the Carnotaurus, bro. And these things are going to destroy any herbivore practically. So, you know, they should reach this. First, we need to see what they need.
Ladies and
Alright,
gentlemen,
they're
pleased to
wetland.
welcome
Let's see if we can do that for
Carnotaurus to
them.
the
I don't see these guys needing wetland, but that's just me. Alright, there we go. Alright, put this here. Alright, perfect. Alright, now that the wetland is put down, they should be pretty happy. Even though it says it's really not that much, it really isn't. And those guys are finally fleeing, and they're actually expanding their territory, so, you know, good for them. Now I think that that is good. I'll add some more. There, they're totally happy. Okay, so the ecosystem is really expanding now. We got a bunch of gunlungs. Others that I don't know exactly the names, but that does not matter. Looks like this Dilophosaurus is really venturing out. Bro, you're right in water. What do you mean you're looking for water? Like, bro, what? Alright, this guy's stupid as crap. This Atrociraptor has ventured far out. It's actually juvenile. Look at that. If we look on our map here, this guy has ventured way far out. And, you know, probably not being the smartest idea of him, but hey. Oh, dinosaurs are gonna be dumb sometimes, right? Alright. No way! This Carnotaurus just got destroyed by the Stegoceratops. Destroy any herbivore practice. Which kinda not shocking because, you know, these guys have Thagomisers and they have horns. Like, bro, what do you mean? Alright, we got another hunt in progress. It's, what is it hunting? I have no clue what this Atrociraptor is hunting. But hopefully oh, it's a Parasaurus. Alright, bro. You better get there. You're gonna stop right before you get it, don't you? Oh no, you're actually gonna hop on and try to kill it. Nice. Alright, let's about to find a way. Just one copy, bro. Wow. Wait, is there two or three?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to
but
welcome a
that's copy there.
to the park.
Hopefully these guys are happy except for their raid. They'll be fine. So, that's perfect. Let's go check out the other dinosaurs. We haven't checked over here lately, but the Power Raptors are doing plenty well with all these others, just herbivores laying around. And it looks like this Atrociraptor did get the Parasaurolophus. Yo, they really... Let me see where the Power Raptors have gotten. Oh, yo, look at that. That is all theirs. Alright, this guy's probably starving. But yeah, looking for food, buddy. I'm pretty sure there's a feeder right in your area. I don't know where. It's like right over there, and there's one right over here. Alright, there's a fight. Oh, Atrociraptor and Power Raptor. Oh, they were both at the meet. Ooh, this is huge. They're gonna have to start wiping out each other if they really don't want to mess with each other this whole time in this ecosystem. But let's see who wins. Alright, they just had a face-off, and this Power Raptor is just panicking. I don't know what that was, but they kind of stood there. And now we're just gonna let the Atrociraptors actually eat. Oh my gosh, the Atrociraptor right after that went for a hunt and not even just feeling the hunt, you know. He doesn't really just want to eat from a meat feeder. So he's just gonna hunt and, you know, hopefully kill. I don't know why now I said hopefully kill, because we really don't want him to kill, but I guess that's just life work. And it's got it. Yo! Ooh, that looked nasty. Just ripped its neck, and there goes another Dryosaurus. Yeah, they're kind of just prey at this point. Alright, I placed this large nesting area for the Carnotaurus that's all to find on the other side of the river here. Kind of already filled it up with trees to make it look more natural, of course. And there's two Carnotauruses dead. Just dead. I really thought they would do something against hybrids. I guess not. They're kind of trash. Alright, the first apex predator in this ecosystem is gonna be Rose, the Acatosaurus or whatever. This thing is gonna be a real menace, I can already tell, in this ecosystem. And, you know, change that name. Rose. And there we go, Rose. Perfect. There we have it. Rose is already really discomfortable. But, hey, she'll get over it. She has no prey. She's already ventured off. I don't think I'm gonna put a meat feeder. Alright, placed down a large nest for Rose here, and then I remembered Mrs. Rose here is gonna need a mate, so you know, I'm gonna go cook that up in the lab real quick. Alright, here's her mate. His name is gonna be Tim. So for all like the main apex predators, we are just so we can sort them out from the rest. Here we go, let's give him his name real quick.
We are pleased to welcome an Acrocanthosaurus to the park.
Alright, there you see it. Tim. There he is. Him, my boy. I don't know if he's found his partner. Actually, like they auto join each other, so they know where each other are. They have prey, and go check out the other dinosaurs. All right, we look on this massive map here, and dinosaurs are really starting to flood out in the whole ecosystem. We got a bunch of dinosaurs here, bunch of dinosaurs here, bunch of dinosaurs here. You get the point. This juvenile is about to probably die because it doesn't have enough health. And here's a fight. Oh. Here's one, a Carnotaurus. Let's say one-shot the Carnotaurus. Say one-shot. These guys are just gonna... Alright, no one-shots. No one-shots here, boys. Oh, they just locked the Carnotaurus' attack. There it goes. It just doesn't even let the Carnotaurus hit. Alright, let's about to find a way after we just saw that death. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm gonna release another carnivore here. Alright, this Atrociraptor starved to death when there's literally a feeder right across the lake here for him. So I'm not quite sure how that happened, but whatever. And it looks like Carnotaurus are just asking to be extinct again. Yep. I think that's gonna happen. Well, they just watched this fight, and this Carnotaurus just ran off over there. And this guy's just gonna settle down here. And they don't even eat meat. You know, these guys are just killing for the fun of it at this point. They're really big now I look about it, because Stegosauruses, and yeah, that's the death wish if you want to fight. Well, time to release it another time. Wait, first it looks like Rose has flamed the nest, apparently. That's good. And Rose has ventured all the way out over here, and her mate is him over here. They're still just on the edge. First of all, this guy got out. Alright, I'm making myself look like a fool here, and I just let this dinosaur get out right over here. And, you know, kind of look stupid now, but I put invisible fence and won't be able to get out. What am I going to do with this dinosaur, you think, over here? I'm just going to let it die. Just going to let it die. So, you know, that's how that's going to... Alright, look at this ecosystem. These Atrociraptors are really spreading out, and I cannot let them die. So, you know, we're just gonna add a medium nest here. Nope, it's not populated. And we're gonna add a meat feeder. Alright, there we go. The meat feeder's down, the nest is down, and these guys can do their own thing over here. We got a hunt in progress, apparently. Oh, Rose is hunting down. Oh, she's gonna smash it. No, what? There we go. Somehow did not get it. Alright, failed hunt. Rose failed. That bird just looking down. That's crazy. Alright, boring. Alright, this baby Atrociraptor is looking for food. 25 health. About to starve to death if it doesn't get there quick, but it looks like it actually is going to get there with the rest of his family. And look, it's here. It made it here to the meat feeder, it looks like. Yep, but it's just not eating. It's playing. I don't know why you're doing that, buddy. You're about to die. Well, life's about to find a way while I'm talking. 2 gunlongs have actually made it out of the nest again. It's been a while since they have had some
Ladies
babies,
and
but you know, we
gentlemen,
got a
we
couple
are
of them.
pleased
Smell on the ground, first thing you
Guanlong
do.
to the
Wow.
park.
Was not expecting that. Alright, if you look over here, the gunlongs are still only ones that stayed over here. They kind of all spread out. And we're going to put a nest down for these guys right here. Alright, perfect. It's down, and now they're socializing and probably gonna. Alright, once more again, the contours are now gone and out of this ecosystem. Well, they kind of asked for it. Raptor baby, who's low health, has still not gone and got food, so it cannot run and play, but I'm gonna be a kind little guy and give this guy what he needs. Perfect, there. You better eat or I'm gonna call the cops on you. No, I'm actually not gonna call the cops on this little boy. You should better eat. You better eat, bro. Bro, what? No shot, he's just gonna die. He's just gonna die. Yep. Yep, there he goes. Alright, well, sad, but, his choice. There's food right next to him. Alright, I went ahead and deleted the meat feeder, and now it's gone, and this guy's gonna die. Alright, 2 more Copsies have been
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Compsognathus to the
They're
park.
gonna have to really do something if they're gonna want to survive. Ooh, more dinos. Ooh, 5, Parasaurolophus have been born. They're broke. Their horns on their head or whatever you want to call it, babies. It's not even funny. I think that's gonna be all for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe button, and all I can say is, till next episode.